Hello, hello. Good evening. This is El Dadarino. I'm hoping everybody is trying to stay dry out there and is dry out there. I know a few of us or a few of the people in the community right now are going through a monsoon down there down south and getting hit with a hurricane. So hopefully they stay safe and hopefully and while maybe not dry, but hopefully they don't blow away. But we're gonna have a great race here tonight between Bdog, Metatron. I've been watching both of their streams, both of their practice, and they're both chomping at the bit to get this going here. So we're gonna kick off in a couple of minutes. Um, just the next bracket in the first, if you will, post qualifier, post original seeding bracket. This is going to be one of the first races of that bracket. So lots of races today. Lots of races on Saturday. This is a great tournament, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. Um, so welcome everybody in. Welcome, Mr. Greggy Spike. I'm going to get going here shortly. But everybody just stand by. We're going to get going at 8 o'clock. Hopefully we go off on time. I know it's hit or miss whether that actually happens. So pretty happy to get off on time tonight. Seems like our runners are ready, and this is set to go off right on time, and it's set off on a timer. So can't wait to watch this. Two excellent runners. B-Dog, obviously, and somewhat GOAT status in Metroid Dread speed running community. Discovered a lot of the strats, a lot of the techs, things like that, and has perfected a lot of the movement around. It's gonna be fun to watch. Metatron, we all know Metatron might have a little bit of work cut out for him, but I've been watching him practice. He's ready to rock. So race is gonna begin in less than 10 seconds, and we'll see that countdown start because the stream's a little bit delayed from exactly exactly the time, but we'll be watching. We're off. He's clearly a dog park. We know that. uh, both runners are off. Starting in Artaria. Just got into a fight with Ravenbeak. And away we go. Metatron having a little bit of a hiccup on the skip, on the cutscene skip there, but both mashing through quite quickly. Bdog making his way down to the cutscene down there. What are we doing here? Bdog at Broken Emmy, Elaine, as we call her. Metatron with the roundhouse kick, the flying roundhouse. And here they go. This is the first boss. It's a tutorial boss. So, one of the easier kills in the game. Although both of these runners are probably going to make most of the boss kills look easy. Bdog's on his way. Metatron's not far behind. I'll do the first pseudo wave now at this point. Bdog getting in 2 shots, as somewhat expected. Metatron took a couple extra shots, but still very good. I'd envy both of those results in any of my runs, that's for sure. So, Bdog's taking on Corpius, the invisible scorpion dog thing, and dispensing with Corpius relatively quickly. Metatron's getting a considerable amount of headshots here. This is that's good work. Bdog's making his way out of the room after getting a Phantom Cloak, and Metatron did a good job. Gonna have to monitor the amount of missiles he's got, though. He's gonna have to maybe catch a drop on that climb up to the second atom. But if you can read really fast, you'd be able to tell what exactly happened with receiving the Phantom Cloak there. I have to apologize. I don't know exactly what's going on with changing the view here, but I've asked the moderator to or the kind of the person in charge of that to work on it, but apparently they're not doing that. So we can watch it like this for now. Bdog, second try water hop. That's rare. 3 tries on the water hop on Bdog there. 4 tries on water hop. Well, 4th try. Still save time. For those who don't know, if you follow the route that the game planned for you, you fall down in some water, and you obviously can't move around in water just yet very well, and it takes a little bit of time to kind of navigate that area. Metatron with a good water hop, that'll start to catch him back up a little bit. All right, Metatron trying to do the water platform skip, and does. Second try. So that works. I'll tell you, Samus seems to run faster for Bdog. That is for sure. He made his way through, got Charge Beam, which is your first arsenal upgrade of the game here. Phantom Cloak being the first ability upgrade. Bdog doing the Artaria 1 climb yet again. I'm going to see that. See that a few times in any run. Metatron not too far behind, making his way up the climb. Bdog getting a little hung up with the ledge grab. There are some there are some relatively trolly features with descents and climbs where you don't get your mantle and you don't hop up to the next ledge as quickly as you hoped. And there are times when you are descending and grab a hold of a spider magnet wall or a ledge out of nowhere. While it doesn't affect the run unless you're going for a world record, it does it does break kind of the cadence of your mind there. Bdog making his way through Adam. And if he was a little slower on the mash, you'd hear that Adam tell Samus that Ravenbeak, who beat her up in the first scene that we didn't even see because we skipped it, but is the most handsome and wonderful warrior in the galaxy. So, and that's when we all start to get suspicious about who's actually behind the whole Adam spiel here. Metatron making his way over that specialty jump there. That's we call that the Magus skip. So you'll see lots of little techniques and strange button pushes and melee counters and weird things kind of happening like that by the runners, because you're really not supposed to be able to access a certain area or jump over a certain thing or make your way across something or whatever it is. So you'll see them kind of behave oddly. I really wish I could change the view on this. For God's sake. Sorry about that. I'm trying to message Speedgaming 4 here to get this view changed out. See how Bdog does with the damage boost. Consistent per the norm. That was quick moving for Metatron on that climb there. Hopping over that slug. It's one of two strats through that little climb there to either try to hop the slug or hop away from the slug. Oh, Metatron getting a little bit trolled by the damage boost there. Hopefully he can recover that. Come on. Shark, bug, bird thing. I guess he's going to run back to the zipper. Yeah, that's too bad. All good. All good. This is the last time we're going to see Adam on the run, if all goes as planned here. So coming up is pretty much one of the two major tricks of the run. This is a jump trick we call Adam save skip. So in order to cut out about 3 minutes of the game and not talk to Adam again, you have to do these series of buffered wall jumps and a melee, and you have to time them perfectly to get up over a platform that you shouldn't be able to get up over. You should have to set off a switch in order to do that. Bdog with this damage super boost, and really don't expect less. You know, Bdog is definitely one of those runners that you have. I'd say the community has a certain expectation for his standard of running this game. So, he's fun to watch. Metatron getting in his last Adam here. Rerouting some thermal fuel and opening up new gates and doors in order to better negotiate Cataris. That's this area here. We start out in an area called Artaria on ZDR. And that's the planet that we eventually blow it up by the end, per the norm of Metroid. Some planets are spared in a lot of Metroids, but most don't make it. Bdog immediately skipping the Hell Pseudo. Metatron going opting out of the Hell Run, which is safe, and Hell Run saves a couple of seconds, but not a whole pile of time. So it's not completely necessary to do. Metatron almost getting caught by that green Emmy there. That's a unfortunate spawn, but knows how to handle it, so that's good. Bdog just looks like he knows where he's going. That's for sure. Now here's the Adam save skip we were talking about, and even the top runners, it takes them a couple of tries sometimes to kind of get the rhythm of it, because even, you know, the first 3 jumps are kind of get you into a rhythm, and okay, so Bdog makes it up over, but the first 3 jumps kind of get you into a rhythm, but that 4th jump is timed just a little bit closer to the 3rd jump than the other 3. So it's kind of weird, you know. You got to be watching to hit that exact buffered wall jump, or else you won't grab a hold of that spider magnet wall there. Bdog's movements efficient here. Metatron's going to set off this switch here. You see things like that where Metatron's aiming upward. That's in order to kind of shift the screen up to that little gate up there that has to open. But once that gate will automatically open after you route the first thermal fuel, that gate will automatically open as long as it's in view of the screen. So that's why the runners aim upward to ship that view. Metatron made quick work of the Adam save skip there, and did a good little climb there on that sloped climb there. Bdog just, well, Bdog's making his way through Caterus kind of like Bdog would, I would guess. But still a lot of run left. Well over an hour. So we'll see how it goes here. Still a lot of run. Lot of enemies, lot of bosses, and bosses are no matter how many times you fight them, they find a way to show you why they're the boss of their little area. So that's one of the great things about this game. Another great thing about this game is it's kind of a departure, I'd think, from. I mean, Other M had a little bit of movement, efficiency, or some kind of different way that Samus moved. But if you played Metroid 1, Metroid 2, The Return of Samus, or you know those sorts of Super Metroid, it always seemed like Samus was in a robotic kind of suit, almost cyborgish, if you will, and this is a different kind of thing. This is the designers and some of the tutorials you see in the cut screens talks about parkour and how this is kind of like this accentuates Samus being extremely athletic and having very strong and efficient and quick movement. And then kind of the suit just enhances that versus a scenario where Samus is kind of controlling a robotic suit, if you will, in order to survive a planet or its atmosphere or whatever, or its gravity or whatever have you. Bdog is kind of expanding his lead here a little bit. He's well through the first section of Dairon here, and Metatron is just getting on the train, so. Yeah, that's true, Infinity. It wasn't Bdog's best Caterus, but still good. Couple of little shin bangs there. Kind of stubbed his toe in a couple of spots, but I will say Metatron is hanging in there, and Metatron is a good runner. I mean, he is definitely running well. That spider magnet wall there alone. Bdog getting that D boost from that green bird. That's a hard time trick, like these runners make that kind of stuff look easy, but that green bird D boost, that thing is moving around the whole time you're moving around that room. So you kind of have to time the entire room to get to a point where you don't have to kill that green bird and kind of get that D boost off of it. So Infinity or Delusional Prince or any of you guys, do you guys know how to change the view of this? Do I have control over that? I don't have any idea how to do that. And there's like literally no tutorial or nothing. They just kind of like, make sure your mic's on and send you in here. Not dogging them or nothing, but I mean, I know we want to watch this, so, and I want to watch it, so we're definitely not coming up next. I would say we're pretty well underway here. If you have comms control panels, click on switch to race layout. Okay. Or grid. Yeah, I kind of don't, so I don't. Yeah, I don't, so no idea. Yeah, sorry guys. There's definitely a little opportunity here. So, Bdog getting the morphing ball, or as we call it in this game, morph ball. Not going for the Professor Stupid tech there, but Metatron making his way back to Cataris. And Bdog is going to make his way down under the pig. There's supposed to be a point in time where you go over the pig, and that's where that atom that we skipped would be. So, because we didn't go over the pig, we don't end up meeting Adam again, and we're able to skip Adam for the rest of the run here. Metatron taking aim and taking out the green Emmy that possesses the morph ball, as we saw before. Which is also another departure from the other from other Metroid games, where a lot of times the morph ball was one of the first abilities you got. So. So Bdog making his way up Varia climb here. This is a hot climb that ends with a suit that is able to withstand heat, not lava, but heat. And Metatron's making his way to the teleporter. That Bdog arrived at here in Artaria. And this Varia descent is also a semi-technical descent. Lots of places to kind of stub your toe, lose a couple seconds, have some inefficient movement, lots of obstacles in the way, and a couple respins away from and ledge grabs away from losing the efficiency that you could gain in an area like that. Metatron with that good charge shot, opening that door before hitting the ledge. It's kind of an odd little technique there that you kind of have to jump wide and then make your way pointing back to it. It's all those little technical things that make this speed run what it is, really. Bdog is heading down to apart from Corpius, this is the first major boss of the game. This is a very big time waste if you have trouble with Kraid here. And if you were listening to the audio, you would hear that you would hear Kraid roaring in the background. I'd imagine that because it's because we're not in the okay, the DM link in my Discord. Okay, let me see. because I'm watching it in Discord, so, and I'm on live on air, but it's just being a D. You know, I don't know. Yeah, it's just doing the same thing. It's just doing the same thing. So I don't know. Oh, I might have done it. I did it. I did it. They don't tell you to do any of this stuff. That's what's great about it. That's cool. Is that better for everybody? I'm sorry. You know, they don't tell you what to do. So I'm working on it. Um, okay, I'm working on the audio, but I'm trying. Like, what the hell? So Bdog, you know, I missed some of that stuff going on there. I missed both crades, so I'm sorry about that. And it's all bosses I didn't call the major boss of the game. So, but I'm trying to get the the sound up here. I know, worst. Okay, you want to stop with that or? Okay, how does that sound? You know, it's pretty odd. B Dog's kind of made a little bit of a lead for himself here, and Metatron is slightly behind. So Metatron's making his way to the grapple beam. B-Dog has the grapple beam and is making his way, turning the lights on here, and making his way to bombs. So if we can all remember back, if we can all recall or remember back to the good old days when you had to follow the actual route of the game, you there would be an awful lot of backtracking and going back and forth between areas. But these speedrunners and speedruns in general, they kind of attempt to eliminate the amount of teleporters you got to take. So. Okay. Metatron gets to try his luck with the yellow ME through here. We'll see how he does. Kind of a troll spawn there, but makes real quick work of it. A little easier when you have the grapple beam and when you don't have the grapple beam, such as any percent, no major glitches. You don't have the grapple beam at that point because you are going to get it when you before you go do short boost. So you kind of have to run right in the yellow Emmy's path unless the yellow Emmy ends up down below on a lower platform. It's always nice to hear those chirps off in the distance. Bdog making his way into Barenia, the water area, and he's going to be trying to pick up a ability called the Flash Shift. And I imagine we're going to see a pretty efficient backdoor flash shift technique here. We call it, where you do a series of bomb jumps that keep you elevated off of a platform that if you stand on it, it would keep the door shut. So, in order to stay away from both the door and the platform, you can't do only one. So, you'll see him lay bombs away from the door and above the platform, and it's a 6-bomb jump backdoor flash shift, as we can expect from Bdog there. Normally takes me about 25, so that's how good these runners are, and that's how good Bdog is. That was a good little technique there from Metatron. That enemy there, which is nicknamed Steve, that enemy can be a little bit trolly and throws spikes off. I guess it's octagonally, and because of that, you can take a little bit of damage, and it gets a little bit annoying in order to make your way up to that platform and out of the water. So you don't have the gravity suit yet, so it's not efficient to jump in water. So Bdog is having a little bit of struggle with this bomb jump here, and is bound and determined to get it, but he got it. Couple of tries. It's got a little bit of time, but may not want to let Metatron linger too much. Metatron opting to use the grapple beam there instead of a coyote jump. Coyote jump refers to Wile E. Coyote, an old Looney Tunes character. We used to float in midair and then jump or do some kind of action like hold up a sign or a flag or something like that. Opting to go with without the backdoor flash. Um, which isn't too odd. We've seen that a lot in these in these races because it's safer and you have the grapple beam and it really doesn't cost an awful lot of time. Whereas if you're not certain you're going to do that backdoor flash shift entry with the infinite bomb jump, you know, that could cost you an awful lot of time. In other routes, or for other categories, you kind of have to because you may not have grapple beam at that point. Bdog, that yellow enemy's going to barely make its way out of that hole there before Bdog dispenses with it. So, the major speed abilities in this game both of them have been attained by Bdog here. Those being Flash Shift and Speed Booster, as we can see there. Speed Booster allows you to, after a short period of running, charge up and run really fast, or to store your speed boost, which is a spark. Using that spark, just like Bdog did there, you can kind of blast off and blast through enemies and damage enemies and blast into enemies and things like that. So we're going to see that as something that is used very heavily throughout this game. And now you can see that Bdog is pretty much going at top speed here. And Metatron's about to too. So Metatron's making his way around the yellow Emmy here. Good use of grapple. These little flash shifts and things like that, you know, they do help with not having to run, but not using them as perfectly efficiently as possible will cost you a little bit of time. You can overshoot your you can kind of get a little overzealous and overshoot where you should have stopped or something like that and have to go backwards towards a ledge or things like that. So, you know, you still have to move in an efficient manner to make the most out of that flash shift. Bdog getting a little trolled there, not really worrying about it. One missile shot takes that out. That's very precise grappling there. A lot of people normally have to, a lot of runners, even the top runners, have to kind of slide down that ledge there and then do a hop with a flash shift to get through that Emmy door. Bdog getting two sparks. We saw the speed booster use there in order to take that first Onyx Robo Chozo down. And Metatron got a speed booster, so he's not far behind, and he's got all the tools needed to kind of catch up here. And it is pretty great. I mean, you know, you're looking at Bdog here. You know, you look at Satora, Justin Zane, you know, Noya. These runners are top runners of the game, you know, and have held world record at points and things like that. And you know, it's a joy to watch, and it's definitely fun to watch. And they kind of move around and use these little damage boosts and hop around and things like that. And to keep it into perspective, I mean, Metatron is absolutely flying through this game right now, you know, and Metatron is a good speedrunner, you know. when you have your B-Dogs and your Satoras and things like that, then and Zanes and so on, and that, you know, they make it look a lot easier than it is, but at the end of the day, Metatron is a fine runner of this game and totally fun to watch. I mean, he's absolutely ripping through this game right now. So, announcer's curse there a little bit, but he's absolutely ripping through this game right now. So he uses a little bit of the terrain there to bait that Onyx Robo Chozo up there. Now, if you were able to see the cutscene that we didn't skip there, you would see that there's a what seems to be a body there on the floor, and that is that is one of the Chozo that are helping. Were attempting to help Samus along with her mission here, and is in opposition to Ravenbeak. So here we go with Dragaiga with Bdog. Gets the standard 2 tentacle swipe here. He's going to be going for the 1 cycle, and apparently he likes to do that from the left side here. So this 1 cycle was discovered, I'd say, a few months back, and kind of on accident, I think. But it's definitely kind of a staple to the all bosses category now, is to 1 cycle your way through Dragaiga. Metatron's making his way back through Dairon, electing to not go with the speed keep into the morph ball. One way or another, it's pretty quick, and what he's doing is definitely very quick. And so he's going to go with the speed booster ball spark through the hole there. And again, he uses that little bit of damage boost to get past that Steve. Bdog getting a little bit trolled with that speed keep there, but does just fine. And he's taking on the gold version of the Onyx Robo Chozo that killed Quiet Robe there. Left him on the floor. Bdog makes quick work of it. Metatron making his way through Berenia 2, as we say. And he loses the speed keep. That's unfortunate there. It's a little bit of a timing trick there to try to get that kind of pull that morph ball into that little channel there and keep your speed in order to kind of make that crawl through that hole a little quicker there. So Bdog gets super missiles, or pickles as we call them, or cucumbers, or whatever have you. Zucchini. Large green fruit. Metatron having a little bit of trouble with the door worm there, but he gets through just fine. Now he's going to take on Dragaiga. And Bdog's just running through. The bosses are really one of the highlights of this game. Even a boss like Dragaiga is one of the highlights of the game. Now the runners make it look a lot easier than it is because you're underwater, and Dragaga does move faster than you do, more faster than your character does underwater. Originally, if you go back to the first couple of playthroughs of the game, you know some of these bosses are a lot tougher than they let on to be. Now, that doesn't mean they aren't easy to figure out, but they weren't very tough in the very first couple of runs, that's for sure. Or they weren't very easy in the first couple of runs, that's for sure. Rip Bird Dad. That's what Raynu says. So Bdog is coming to the first actual Chozo. Well, ex-Chozo. Non-robot. And Metatron is taking on a Robo Chozo. So we're kind of full circle here. Now, Bdog electing to skip one of those E-tanks. So he's got a total HP around 297 right now, so, or 299 or whatever have you, I would guess. So he's not taking any chances with any of these pointy things. Pointy things are the harder. These Chozos are a bit harder bosses, and they kind of behave erratically, and they deal a little bit of damage. So, kind of don't want to play around with them. They can kind of troll kill you for seemingly out of nowhere. Especially the gold one. Gold pointy thing is a hard boss to get past. Bdog gets through there just fine, though. Metatron's got the super missiles, can now open super missile doors. So those green doors you see there. There's a couple of them scattered throughout ZDR, but we're only concerned with the ones that are kind of in our way, because we're not out collecting all of the items. Bdog navigating around that blue Emmy pretty well here. That blue Emmy always spawns in that room, but can kind of pose a little bit of a problem if you get the exact right spawn. But that's not something Bdog's concerned about on this run, apparently. Oh, and he doesn't get this store. Well, got it back though, without a short boost. A little bit of a turnaround speed booster there. You get a little bit of credit for that stutter step when you turn around if you kind of time it right on the speed booster there. So it's kind of like a fake short boost. Because neither runner is going to do short boost in this, we won't talk about what short boost is, but it's basically a technique that, you know, use a couple of inputs to kind of fake out the CPU to thinking that you've run a little farther than you actually did in the game. Bdog definitely has the blue Emmy's number there, and now he's got ice missiles. So in this game, unlike other Metroid games, you attain an ability, or you attain a suit upgrade, or you attain, you name it, anything except for an expansion pack of, let's say, your power bombs or missiles or something. But you attain a suit upgrade or something like that, and they immediately make you kind of test it out. So you find out that those Ankies there, they dispensed with by the ice missiles. And so they kind of open up the route in front of you as Metatron finishes off the first organic Chozo of the game. Makes his way out of Elon back to Gavaran. You might be asking yourself why Bdog is still in Morph Ball mode. There's another technique. It's not considered a major glitch. It was at first. Now it's not. But it's called it allows you to morph. It allows you to use your Morph Ball and kind of warp back, teleport back to a point in time where you stored that ledge warp. So that's why it's called ledge warp. You have to use a ledge and kind of go into Morph Ball at the exact right moment, and then it'll kind of store where your location was. And as long as you kind of jump in that direction, in the direction you were when you went into Morph Ball. Good speed keep here from Metatron. Kind of stubbed his toe there a little bit, but it's pretty good. Blue Emmy didn't give him trouble with that spawn, so that was good. And you always have to use a in those underwater bomb jumps. You always have to use a you have to do a setup jump to set that trick up. So you have to set the bomb off, and then as that bomb propels you upward underwater, you unmorph, and then that kind of sets up the trick so that you can actually attain height underwater with a bomb jump. So then you jump and plant another bomb, and it jump and turn into Morph Ball again, and it kind of propels you upward. So something you couldn't do unless you did that little setup trick there. Bdog's just flying. He's made his way to Berenia. Now he's going down through the Ankies, and he is headed to Gravity Suit. But like I said, you get the ice missiles, and then you put them to the test. So you get to train with them right away. But each upgrade you get kind of helps you access new areas. God Blobs, because he needed them so badly. But God Blobs is where you can shoot those blobs on one shot and take them out. I don't know if anybody ever really figured out exactly how to kind of guarantee themselves God Blobs. I think it's still pretty random. Metatron got his ice missiles, and now he's making his way through. And he'll be heading up to Spin Boost. Spin Boost is an ability that you have to get. You got a Sky Ball there. That's interesting. Got another one. He's a space baller. There it is. Not a Sky Ball, space ball. That's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if I've ever seen 3 space balls in a row there. That's pretty good. So Spin Boost is a technique that's normally skipped in basically every single run category. Oh, and he just lost it. So if you do come out of Morph Ball, you will lose your ledge warp where you stored. So you'll see him just kind of try to fly through here as fast as he can, but now he's got to make his way back through that little ball crawl, and that's unfortunate. Because that definitely does lose a little bit of time. So we find our first red Chozo warrior of the game. And Bdog electing to go with a weave. So it's a mashing technique that weaves, believe it or not, missiles into the mash. So It has a tendency to do a little bit more damage. Metatron going in, looking for his second Chozo, organic Chozo warrior of the game here. Before he can even land, dispenses with that Chozo warrior. It was a good fight by Metatron there. Absolutely. But yeah, it's necessary to get spin boost because that ability, it's not necessary to have that ability. It's actually kind of a less useful ability when you get after you get space jump. But if you were doing it the normal route and in your first playthrough ever, you'd probably find it pretty useful. But in these speed gaming and speed running routes here, it's not super necessary. But in all bosses, it is, because unless you get it, you won't unlock that bronze and I don't know what he looks like, copper and pewter Chozo warrior down there below. You won't unlock that unless you get the spin boost ability. So everybody's riding teleporters, so Bdog is coming up to what some would say is their most favorite boss in the game. It's a boss called Experiment Z57. And very RNG dependent. Very RNG dependent in terms of speed running. And that's unfortunate. So Bdog starts out with claws. So or the swipes. So when Experiment Z57 here has a number of different attacks. That one being the hot garbage breath, as I like to call it, and then that little bit of wave beam kind of circle that you see later in the wave beam Emmy that follows you around when he's holding on to the four walls there, and then or the three walls there, and then the swipes. So when he's throwing haymakers at you, you're unable to damage him. So that's it's an RNG you hope not to get. So because you want to be dealing maximal damage all of the time to Experiment Z57, and then the as long as you can store the spark in that wave of energy that comes at you, you can pretty much dispense with Z57 pretty quickly with one speed booster spark across the room, take his head out, and then it's over. And that was in there by design, I think. I think somebody was mentioning that is in there by design. I will say Metatron is moving very quickly. He's absolutely no slouch at this game. He is very far behind at this point. And Bdog acquired Screw Attack, which is, well, for speed running, it's probably not the most powerful ability, but for the game itself, it is basically the most powerful ability in the game. It allows you to, as long as you're in a flip, Metatron running right through that red Chozo. As long as you're in a flip or a spin, we call it a spin, respin, or flip, kind of makes you somewhat invincible. And if you run into an enemy, it will hurt them or damage them. So you'll see that used nearly immediately. That was a good speed keep there by Metatron. That was pretty quick to get through those rooms there. One thing to say about the speed keep or that ability in general, when you are trying to keep speed, if you bonk your head on a surface above, on a ceiling or whatever have you, you will lose your speed. So speed booster is a little bit fickle like that, as opposed to flash shift, which can kind of, as long as your Aeon gauge isn't down to nothing, you can kind of flash shift and slide along walls or things like that. But you will stub your toe instead of kind of vaulting over a 1 block high thing. So everything has its limitations. There is no ability that will, you know, make you invincible. That is until the end, you know, when you take after when you take out Ravenbeak, then you're pretty much the best Samus at that point. You're all you can be. Bdog's gonna be taking on Golzuna, which I'm not exactly sure if there is a census or there is a consensus on Golzuna exactly, but I'm pretty sure nobody likes Golzuna, I would say, overall. And Bdog makes it look incredibly easy, but that is a very, very hard boss. And Infinity is right. Some enemies can actually hit you out of screw attack. That is true. But it is a very powerful ability because all your aiming and shooting and things like that, as long as you're spinning, you are going to net gain damage dealt versus damage taken, right? So thank you for not allowing me to completely misspeak on that, but it is a very powerful, unless dread mode. Yes, well, of course, Infinity. you gotta get your dread mode plug in there for sure. But yeah. And Infinity is alluding to one of the modes of the game. This run will be played in rookie category, or a rookie mode. Another mode is normal, and then you have hard, and then the first DLC came out and gave the players the ability to play a mode called Dread Mode, where if you take any direct damage, any kind of direct hit from an enemy, you are it's an immediate game over. So that's as fun as it sounds. I think everybody has beaten it at least once at some point, but once is enough for most people. Some crazy people like to attempt to do speed runs in Dread Mode, and from time to time, I do partake in watching that, but I have very little interest in playing that, I would say. Bdog's kind of running away with it at this point, I would say. Metatron is absolutely not dogging it, that is for sure. But Bdog is definitely running away with it here, and no signs of slowing down. I know, you see Bdog kind of lean back on that. It's so trolly. So that purple Emmy has a very, very long range. because it's underwater. Now it is subject to water. That purple Emmy does not have a gravity suit, so it is subject to the slow movement underwater, which, well, it gives it this, in order to counteract that, it gives it a long scan range. So the cone that comes off of its head is its scan range, and it can detect you. And when it detects you, it locks the Emmy doors. We would know all this if we ever watched any of the tutorials and the cutscenes, but we kind of just scroll through them as fast as possible. But that's basically the case there. Yeah, right, DP. You imagine the purple Emmy having a gravity suit? Yeah. No thanks. I don't want to imagine that. That's for sure. So if you do plant those bombs while you're flying upward, you can kind of gain new height. Originally, or in the intended way to go through that room there, you should have space jump, which is kind of a spin boost, but only a little bit more infinite if you time it right. Bdog made his way through SQ, got his storm missiles. Storm missiles definitely help you with this fight. If you are in your first few playthroughs, it's definitely an ability that you didn't have before, and it makes those very difficult enemies into kind of a cakewalk, if you can kind of avoid their attacks. So you won't see too many runners using those storm missiles for anything other than unlocking doors or kind of getting rid of those storm missile blocks, or for the later pointy things, the red and gold pointy things, kind of helps you get the damage to them to knock their shield out, because they kind of move all around the room, hard to pinpoint. It's a little easier to deal a bit of damage to them while they're on the fly. Bdog getting through there, getting a little anxious to skip that cutscene, but recovers quickly. Metatron trying to get through Golzuna. A little bit too close. Didn't get close enough to the backside of Golzuna to get that spark off. All right, he's got that store. He's going for that. He's going for that speed booster because it deals awful lot of damage. Can't get that store there. So we're kind of watching the night and day of Golzuna here. The difficult is what makes Golzuna so difficult here. Is like, she moves so incredibly slow and deals an awful lot of damage. Bdog making the very cringy kill of the purple Emmy. It is very, very clinching. It's a pucker factor of 10, that's for sure. Trying to get that kill off and planning there. You can miss very, very few shots with your Omega stream there. But Bdog's Bdog. He's got, and he's had some world records and got some world records and so on and so forth, and there's a reason for that. So does the speed keep here? Moves pretty quickly. That's a bit of a trolley kind of speed keep. It's hard to keep your speed when having those kind of slanted surfaces that you can easily be a pixel or two down on. Yeah, pucker factor of 10, exactly. Yeah, you definitely you sit about an inch higher in your seat when you're doing that. So you are you got the cheeks clenched together. That's for sure. So they're kind of they're just high-fiving each other on the way through here. Metatron Metatron has a lot of ground to make up here. He's got to get through all of that Ferenia. Bdog is on the last 3 bosses of the game. So he's pretty much got this in hand here, and is doing pretty well. I'm not sure what his PB is on this, but he is definitely doing pretty darn good. So he gets through that red Chozo. And just like just like the troll that purple Emmy is, you know, Metatron kind of was in the field of view just the same way Bdog was, but the door didn't shut, so kind of got lucky there. And like we said before, you gain a new you gain 11550. That makes sense. You gain a new ability, and the game's gonna make you use it. So there's your power bombs. He luckily got 1 out of there. It's well known that sometimes it's a little bit it can kind of scam you out of some power bomb drops through those couple of rooms. You're supposed to get them because you need them. Yep, that's right, Infinity. So I was figuring about 116, 117, something like that. Bdog has a way of making quick work of Beak. So he's taking on Gold Pointy Thing, and Gold Pointy Thing definitely deals a lot of damage if you get touched by him or hit by him or something like that. But okay, good to know. Bdog put in the chat that he won't be doing Gold Skip because he messed up his arm yesterday. So I'll get well soon, Bdog. Sorry to hear that. Metatron's got Storms, made his way through SQ. Now he gets to fight the fraternal twin bots here. Got a gold one and an onyx one. Customary to speed boost into the gold one to do the damage, and because you have the plasma beam, you're able to shoot through both of them. So Bdog's making his way up to up the dad elevator here, and see how that goes. For those of you who don't know, Ravenbeak turns out to be your dad. So could have been a family, but you have to kill him instead because he's a maniac. So a very rare sighting here. We'll be seeing Ravenbeak in his gold form. So when you see Ravenbeak all gold, he's undamageable. But I guess he's just going to pump him full of missiles after doing a melee counter on him. Metatron is going to do his purple Emmy kill. I would say that's technically a gold. Yeah, you won't see all gold with the way he's doing it, right? So it's technically a gold skip. It's just not the gold skip technique, right? You never see the actual gold Ravenbeak, you know, in all of his glory. So, you know, Adam would be disappointed. Now Metatron doing the much safer version of this Emmy kill. There is another version of this Emmy kill where you can, after draining the water, you can fill the chamber back up with water, and because the purple Emmy doesn't have a gravity suit, he still moves quite slowly through the water, so it kind of gives you that little bit of extra time and that little bit of slower motion. Bdog just, who needs an arm? Bdog just ripping right through Ravenbeak. Good RNG on that third phase too. Metatron making his way out of the purple Emmy chamber. And making his way back to Hanubia, where he's going to try to get power bombs and take on red pointy thing and then gold pointy thing and Ravenbeak and be right where Bdog is right now, probably in about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. Oh, that's unfortunate. He didn't get his aim right on that up spark there. Got a little time to spare, though, so I don't think he's too disappointed in that. It's not going to be his PB. So, using your new ability. It's this theme throughout the entire game, and this big cannon stream here is your new ability, and you're asked to use it repeatedly. So Metatron doing away with red pointy thing, your red Chozo warrior there, and Bdog finishes at 1:17:47.86. GG's Bdog. Well done. Well done. Okay, so we'll switch to Metatron's audio. Somebody let me know if I did switch to Metatron's audio. I mean, they don't give you a tutorial on this. I'm just trying. Yeah. GG's, Bdog. One arm Bdog is still a legend. That is true, DP. Metatron dispenses with gold pointy thing, gold Chozo, and it's time to head up to Ravenbeak. Well done, Metatron. Didn't lose a lot of HP in that either. It was a good fight. All right, here we go. See if Metatron does the quote unquote gold skip. Let's see how he does. Definitely, if you're not following these runners, please follow these runners. These are some excellent runners. Of course, Bdog is a well-known Metroid Dread runner and Super Metroid runner, but these guys are great, and it's a joy to watch. And if you haven't played this game, well, I'm not sure what to say to you at this point. You got to play this game. This is an amazing game. It's a beautiful game. I swear one of these times I'm doing comms, I'm going to point out things in the background. There's so many cool things in the background and interesting. So Metatron is going for the gold skip we know and love and gets it. So the gold skip that is commonly deployed amongst runners at this point is what you just saw, where you get the big red wave and then you lock into either 1 or 2 rounds of storm missiles, and then you mash your way into a kind of a cutscene between the 2 phases of Ravenbeak. So if you can deal enough damage to him before he turns gold, and he's basically impervious to damage and your weapons, you can skip right into the second phase. So Metatron getting through the second phase really, really quickly. Actually, got pretty good RNG there. He's not getting that great of RNG on this phase. Let's see if he'll go into the cutscene there. It's early enough that the cutscene is beneficial. So he does a melee counter and then goes into that cutscene there. So should be relatively quickly that he, and here we go. So 2 melees away from saying you're sorry to Dad. So that's it for Dad. So using your new ability to dispense with final form of Ravenbeak and to end the life of Purple X before heading back to your ship and the real Adam. The Adam we all know and love. Getting a little trolled there by that spin boost. I will say it is very, it's when you're used to using space jump, spin boost is only having spin boost, it gets a little bit difficult. It's kind of it behaves a little bit differently, and it's a little bit, it adds a difficulty factor for sure. So GG's Meta. We're going to watch him finish here. Just outstanding play from both runners today. Kind of had an idea about how this would go, but certainly I'm not disappointed in watching it. That's for sure. I thought this was a great race, and it was definitely fun to watch. GG Metatron. See if we can Maybe get a post-race interview. I'm gonna invite them in for that. Final Metatron time 1:25:05. So GG's there, Metatron. I think our runners are waiting for a bot to message them in here. I don't know if I'm the bot or not. I really don't tell you a lot about this. Can get. How did I get in here? Some pretty good runners. Some pretty good runs. I know, DP. You're gonna have no idea what to do with space jump once you're getting it again. After using spin boost for so long, having to bounce off walls and do cross bomb jumps and all that other nonsense. It's almost sometimes it's a little painful to watch, but trying to get the runners trying to get the runners on here for a post race interview. See how that goes. Yeah, so how did everybody like the race? Everybody like the race? I thought it was a pretty good race. I mean, it was it's fun to watch. Okay, I gotta hit done for both runners. Okay. 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 I'm working on it. Sorry. Okay. Okay. I hit done for both. I don't know how many times I gotta say. I don't know how many times I gotta say say that they don't tell you how to do this, but it's not that confusing. It's pretty. I mean, this is like this is like one of the it's just like one of the easier things to. There's only like 6 buttons to hit, but they don't tell you to hit any of them. So there they are. Yeah, that's all. But hey, you know, trial by fire. That's a good way to do stuff. Let's see. Do I have to bring them in? Because I can't hear anybody's stuff. Maybe I can hear. Hey, Bdog.
Hello.
Hey. Hey, Meta.
I see we were pulled in.
Yeah, I just pulled him in. Oh, I
Oh.
don't know. I tried to
Uh-oh.
pull him in. He just dropped out.
I hear something.
Yeah,
Hello?
hey, Meta.
Hello.
Cool. Hey, what's up?
Welcome. GG's, runners.
Thank you.
GG.
Yeah, thank you, GG Big Bdog. Yeah, that was fun. Good to participate.
Yeah. No, I thought, we kind of had an idea of how this would kind of go, but yeah, I mean, Meta, you were absolutely no slouch at all. I was watching the whole time, obviously, and you know, you got a lot of those speed keeps, a lot of those really efficient things, dispatched with the bosses pretty quickly, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's B-Dog's world record kind of runner, and that's just how it's been from the beginning, and kind of put it on display today a little bit, at least all the way through the early game, and a couple of toe stubs there here and there, but it's to be expected in a race. So but yeah, I thought both runners did really well. What did you think, B-Dog? How'd you like your run? I know you got a bum arm there, and saying you couldn't do the gold skip the traditional way, but
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I could mash with my left arm, but it's just I don't want to injure anything any further. But in terms of other stuff, I was not happy with Piranha in particular with the water bomb jump. That went horribly.
yeah, that was uncharacteristic of you for sure.
But
Getting
I did
up to
nail
that
a lot of
platform, but
I did nail a lot of the hard speed keeps.
yeah, absolutely. There was there were a couple of those ones that you definitely strung together pretty efficiently and pretty well, and that was fun to watch. Meta, how did you think it went overall in terms of
Well, I kind of, when I started this category for the qualifiers, I started at a 130, and then I kind of got around 125, 124. A couple nights ago, I got a 122, so that was a big jump for me, and I kind of expected in the race I'd be 124 to 125. So it's about where I expected. I think the D boost in Artaria was absolutely frustrating to sit there and be like, "Ah, I just got this first time like so many times, and then that happens." But it happens, and you just gotta bite it and go on the rail of shame. And then Golzuna, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened to Golzuna, but that was atrocious, that fight. I was like, oh my gosh, this has to get over. But aside from those, like the ledge warp, I know I stored it, but then to activate it, you have to jump on morph and then on morph in the air. But I stood up under the water, and that eliminated it, so I wasn't able to keep that. But otherwise, just some finicky movement stuff here and there. But overall, it was good enough. So it was fun to race with Bdog, and yeah, congratulations for the win.
Yeah, and hey, congratulations to both you, and GG's, and congratulations, B-Dog. If you watch this back, you'll I'll apologize ahead of time. I was not trained in the 7 buttons that you have to operate when you're in the broadcast operation, but I'm getting better at it. I'm learning a little bit more about it, and whatever. But we were kind of in the welcome screen for at least a few minutes of the race here, and hopefully I do a little bit better next time. But I appreciate you doing the race time GG there. So kind of took that off my plate there, because that might have its challenges too, if you will.
Yeah, I have no problem doing that. It's not like difficult to set up or anything.
No, none of it's difficult. I would say none of it's all that difficult. I mean, like I said, the broadcast operation has like 6 buttons, but if you don't know what any of them do, it may as well have 1,000. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for commentating for us. I'll be sure to watch it back. I know we got another run going on, another race with Manny and Jay. I think they're 40 minutes in right now, and it looks really close. So lots of fun
So
for the red community. Yeah, thanks for commenting, and thanks Bdog. And I'll be in the losers bracket with Metal Militia next. I don't know who Bdog's up against next.
Illusional.
Oh,
Up against.
Okay,
Yeah.
DP.
cool. That'll be a fun one.
So DP was watching very intently. I think he's still in the chat.
Yeah, he might be. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny some of the matchups here. Like Greggy Spikes, one of my buddies. We're really close in our times, and we both ended up with the two top runners to play against the world record guys. So it was like, this will be a 10-minute sweep, but it was cool. So again, thanks for everything. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you. And once again, GG's runners. And if you don't follow either one of them, you're wrong. So go follow them, and make sure that you've got your alerts on too, because they both definitely stream pretty often. And they have a good stream, good to watch. And if you like Metroid Dread, they're always playing it. So.
Yep.
So yeah, any closing comments, Bdog?
No, that's all I have to say.
All right, great. Well, you guys take care. Try to stay dry if you're in the path of the hurricane, and see you on the next run.
Yep.
All right.
GG's.
All right. GG's. Thanks. Have a good night.
GG's.
Yep.
All right. Bye.